Hi Mark, we are in junior English conversation class and my name is Terry and my student number is 54 and today I will be the questioner.
Hi Mark, my name is Lydia and my student number is 156 and I'll be timekeeper.
Hi Mark, I'm Shirley. My student number is 8 and today I will be
Leader.
Oh yeah. So I think last week we have watched the
Scare Straight.
Yeah, Scare Straight. Oh yeah, Scare Straight and Scare Straight. So it's about
teenager crime.
In prison.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, in prison and it's like lets the teenagers, juvenile teenagers, to go into the prison and to hear the voices from those prisoners to let the teenagers to know what's the life in the prison.
What terrible
looks.
life.
Yeah. So I wonder. Today I wonder whether you suggest this program, this action for the juvenile teenagers. Do you agree or disagree?
Do you
I
agree?
agree with this program
Right.
because I think teenager might they might not understand what is wrong and what is correct. So maybe we just do some straight thing to scare them, to make them go straight.
You mean like directly
Yes.
making fear to them because you think that maybe through education they don't know what is right or what is wrong. So it is the most direct way to let the students or teenagers to know that the thing they're doing is wrong, and that's why I make fear to you to know that.
Education will help it in its time, and most of them are living in a non-functional family. Non-functional.
Oh, you mean dysfunctional?
Dysfunctional
Oh, yeah.
family. So
Yeah.
they have to learn some immediate lesson to correct their action or behavior.
Maybe because like the teenagers, the juvenile teenagers, maybe they're 17 years old, 16 years old, and
15.
or maybe 15 years old, and like within 3 years they will be over 18 years old, and they have to maybe take more responsibility for their action. So maybe this is the immediate way for them to know that the actions they are doing are wrong.
Yes, they have to learn something earlier before they go into college or senior high school.
Oh yeah, I think just like the video we watched this week.
This week?
We watched the video and it says like a man and he committed a crime when he was 15 and he was in prison for 25 years. Yeah, I think it's more direct way for them to know that their actions are wrong. And what about you? Do you suggest this kind of
Suggest? Yes.
agree or disagree?
I agree because I think that it is the teenager afraid of something are someone are powerful than them, and if you and they will be scared in the present, and after that education, like so they will be
You mean in that program?
Yes, and maybe they won't. And I searched for the information that the program is useful in some country.
Some countries other than the States?
States or some country. I forget that, but I know that many places use this program to prevent students from committing the crime again.
Sure. Kind of like that, but I hold the thought kind of different from yours. I think maybe it's a good way because it can make some fears for these children or these teenagers to, like you just said, immediately know what their actions are wrong. But I think because from the video, we're not sure if after this program, Scare Straight, I'm not sure if the teenagers know the reason why their actions are wrong. So I wonder if there are some educational function of this action. And first, I think there are many ways to tell the teenagers that their actions are wrong. And I think Scare Straight is not the only way. So,
but I think there's some good point made by the lifer in the prison. One of them said, he said, you can just steal $20 for one day if you want to be a thief. But if you get education, you can earn more money than that. So, which way is efficient to make money is very clear.
yeah.
Yes. So, I just think that there's some educational meaning for this program.
So maybe in that case, I think I would support because maybe that part I didn't listen to it really carefully to catch the words. And I think, as you said, there are some educational purposes, and maybe it really works. And so in that case, I think I will agree with that because the prisoners in this program are not only making fear to these teenagers, they really have a purpose and they want to educate these teenagers and use some reasoning to let the teenagers know why the actions are wrong or why other ways are better. Yeah, I think if these purposes can work, then that will be, and I think maybe it will be an efficient way to teach these children. Yeah.
Yes. And the person who teach this lesson is also matter because this lesson is told by those people really live in jail. So their experience is the best things to teach things. Best examples. Yes.
Yeah. Because they really experience
Yes.
that life before or now.
Right.
Yeah, cool. Then I remember that there's a guy, I think it's 27 years old, and the crime he committed is armed robbery. Yeah, and when I see it, I was like, wow, armed robbery. And I think maybe there are some other crime cells. So I wonder, what else? I mean, what crimes else can you think of that will be put into prison?
Murder, sexual assault, and
Sexual assault. What's that?
Assault,
Not really.
like hurt somebody.
Attack.
Physically. Yes, attack.
Oh, attack. Oh, sexual assault. Oh, okay. Then what else?
Murder.
Burglary.
Burglary.
Steal something. Steal something from others. And what else can we think of? The crimes, or maybe we can.
Maybe what crimes will
I have a
send people
question.
to jail?
Yeah.
I don't think burglary will send a person to jail.
Really.
Mm.
Then for
for
these.
a long time.
Oh yeah, really.
Oh.
Not long time, like 25 years.
Yes.
So I wonder if there are some other ways to deal with these criminals. I mean, other ways to like besides sending them to prison. What else ways?
I don't know what to say.
Maybe we are doing some different project in Taiwan,
Cancer.
like
Then, like the
custody.
the teacher said that the teacher in educational course.
You mean teacher education program?
I'm not sure what I say.
Okay, just a
for-
program.
A course, yeah.
Yeah, a course that she said that her students are very went to very many bad things, and she kept accompanying her, and the girl become better.
Become worse.
better
Oh, better.
better
So what kind of things did she or he do?
accompanying the children whose parents are less take care of them. Am I?
So what exactly the teacher do to that child to make him better?
Just company.
Company.
Company. Yeah.
So
I mean, by their side.
Yeah. Maybe. No. No. After, maybe she will keep contact with her, and the girl, maybe she feel that someone is
Care
care
about
about
her.
her, and she thought that she could not do that the bad thing anymore.
So maybe in that case, the case you just mentioned, maybe it's like the main problem of the maybe not so good behaviors are from just like the article we have read last week, just lack of supervision from their parents. So maybe it's like the teenagers in that case need more supervision or more care from like teachers or maybe parents or maybe their classmates
Yes.
to maybe allow them to feel love or care or somebody care them.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's one way, and that's the way that we can think from the reason of the problem. Yeah. And what other things can we think of to solve the problem? I can think of one else. And one reason from these problems are lack of supervision.
Yes.
And another one is I think of the effects of the punishment. I mean, maybe beats the children
Yes.
physically, because in this semester I take a class in the in the Department of Special Education,
Yes.
and it is called EBD, emotional and behavioral disorder, and it mentions that some children would maybe like go around into violence. First one is like you just said, lack of supervision, and second is that maybe they do something wrong and their teachers or their parents use like something like sticks to hit them, hit the hand, and as a punishment, and they will imitate, they will copy the behavior of their parents and teachers, and that's why they become violent in the future. So I think another solution is that for teachers or parents not to always use violent ways, like kind of a little bit violent ways to physically hit the teenagers or children. So that's the other way I can think of. So what about you, Shirley?
I think when a child have close relationship with somebody else, they will tell themselves to behave well because they don't want to disappoint those people they love. So I think relationship is a very important things to make a people do right things or wrong things. Yes. So if like the children in the scare straight, I don't see they have close relationship with their family. So
Yeah.
I think in that situation, maybe violence is a better way to exert on them.
Yeah, that's true. About the things you just said, the relationship, and I think maybe if they have a relationship and like with parents, and like parents maybe have expectation, is that what you mean?
Maybe expectation may be one way of conveying your love.
Yeah,
Maybe.
Love.
Or you say supervision.
yeah. I think maybe one supervision, second expectation, because I just when you talked about this point, I just think of a thing I learned in, I forgot what that is, like psychology course, and there it is called an effect called Pimeron or Pameron effect, and
Pimeron.
Pimeron.
What is that?
This effect means for the students, and if teachers have higher expectation on the students, on the children, then they will behave nicely, or maybe perform better in their academic performances. So And he mentioned that it's about the expectation of the teachers on the students. So that's why I just think of this. Yeah.
I think I have heard of it when I taking the same class as you.
Yeah.
The same.
Maybe educational psychology.
Yes.
So maybe that's the points you want to raise.
Yes, maybe supervision and
Expectation.
expectation are both kind of representation of love.
Of love.
Yeah, maybe.
A more explicit way to express your love.
Yeah, and also sometimes encouragement.
Yes.
Yeah, like encouragement for our classmates.
Yes.
But
Good.
apparently no one will have any expectation on those kind of children.
Yeah, sure. And and I just think of the situation I faced before, like in my childhood. Sometimes I will do something that violates my parents' expectation, and they will think, oh, these actions are wrong, and they usually pick a long stick to hit me on my hand. And have you ever experienced that before?
Before.
Yes,
What?
Like you do something wrong, and your parents will hit you, use the stick to hit you on your hand. Long stick.
for me,
You.
like not studying purposely.
Purposely. I always not study.
You mean don't spend your time on studying?
Right.
Oh. I not many times, but sometimes when I am very do very bad thing.
It seems like we're going to have a confession right here.
do something maybe, and my parents now usually beat my brother and I, but when we are do cry.
So you want to get your parents' attention on you?
No, it's okay. Not really.
So what kind of things?
Oh, I think the worst memory of the punishment is that my brother said something wrong, and I just said, oh yes, and my mom called me to stand, and she she's mad at me, but my brother is playing playing there. I'm very sad.
So actually it's your brother doing it first, and
Yeah.
you're punished.
Yeah.
And you're punished when you even didn't know what happened.
I know maybe I should not agree with my brother, but I'm not understand that. I don't understand why my brother didn't be punished.
Sometimes something happened.
Maybe we should be punished together.
So, I mean, at that time, you were punished, and what's in your mind? Like, I should tell my mom that.
I tell, but because she's angry. She was angry that time, so she didn't care about what I said. She think that I'm just
Making excuses.
yes.
So were you beaten twice at that time?
No, just stand. And my cousin is there too.
Oh, kind of embarrassing. I can think of that experience once about when I was in my 8th grade, I mean 2nd grade in junior high school, and we sing a song, and that's a song called "We Will Rock You," and and we sang the song like we will rock you, and some of my classmates just used really little of their voice sing we will F you, and and I think wow, so maybe I have wrong pronunciation, so I want to show myself. I want to show myself and also show to the teacher that I really corrected my own pronunciation. So I used the loudest voice I have to sing the song. We will F you, and the teacher was like, hey, you gotta be careful, behave yourself. And then on that day we have a book, like. The book functions as the communication between our parents and the teachers. And that day, the teacher used the red pen to write the behavior, the special behavior I had in the school. And at that night, I was really severely bitten right here on my leg. And I was like, at that time, I really don't know what the word F means. And I was like, so I shouldn't sing the song loudly in the class. It's rude. But that's not the point. So that's why I just mentioned that I think if there's a punishment and the person who is punished should know why they are punished.
Yes, I think they should not just punish.
And maybe just in this case you don't know because the meaning of word may be very deep or profound. So
yeah, that's true.
it's not like you commit a crime. That's obvious thing.
Yeah. So so what about Shirley? Did you get bitten like sticks when?
Yes, of course.
So what's that about?
It hurts.
That happened because I didn't want to maybe sleep. I think I couldn't sleep, so my father wanted to make me sleep, so he beat me.
Why?
What's the relation between making you sleep and beating you?
You beat and you will you
Faint?
faint and you sleep.
I really don't know.
So what things comes to your mind at that time?
Why?
I felt bad, of course.
And
Maybe she was thinking why I will be if I was like why I should be punished. I just can't sleep. Keep. No.
That's it.
That's it.
wow, so we have the same experiences and
But I don't think punishment like beats is not used. It's useful for everyone because some people are very
smart.
No. Like you beat me and I will do that more and more.
Because I did it, and I did it because I want to catch the attention from you.
Not just like they want to rebel.
Oh.
Yeah. And that kind of people you can keep punished because it's not useful.
And also maybe like they did something wrong and you punish them, and actually they did something wrong and in order to show that they are rebellious. And if you punish them, that means they really rebel against you. So maybe that will become a reinforcement. That means they will have some accomplishment. Yeah.
Yes.
And sometimes it doesn't work because when I was like in the 7th grade, and my mother did not hit my hand, and she hit my bottom. And at that time, when I knew that I'm about to be punished, I put my textbook inside of my pants so that when she bit me, I would not feel any hurt.
But did she not discover it?
No.
No?
Even now, no. Yeah. And so I think maybe just like we just said, punishment. There are many forms of punishment, and just physically beating the teenagers or children may not be the only way.
And take away something they like.
Yeah, maybe like this is not the only way, and maybe it should contain some educational purposes.
Yes.
And although this is not the only way, sometimes it really works. But I think don't use it so frequently,
Yeah.
because if we use it frequently,
It's
maybe it doesn't work anymore.
no use.
Yeah, and I think these principles we can use in the future. Like if we're going to be a teacher, and maybe we can sometimes use it or use this technique, so principles on our students, or maybe we will be the parents. So maybe we will use these principles as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Will you use physical punishment on students, your students?
It depends. Yeah.
I know.
So you might use this.
I might use if it works. It depends on the attitudes of the students, of the parents of the students,
Yes.
and also the effectiveness of this punishment on certain students.
Yes.
Yeah,
You're going to teach junior high students.
yeah, junior high.
More. Junior high is the more uncontrolled.
It depends, and it depends on the region.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think they will like give in, even if you use physical punishment.
Yeah. Sure, but don't use it too often.
Yes.
Or
Yeah.
maybe they have more strengths than you have.
Maybe. So that depends on the situation. That depends on which situation we are under. Yeah. And use the punishment, or maybe use the ways or treatments depending on the setting or the situation. Yeah.
Yes.
So
Actually.
And you have to think about parents' feelings.
yeah, so I mentioned the attitudes of the parents. Yeah,
Yes.
that really depends. Sure.
And where time is almost what?
Really?
Almost
Oh,
what?
really? Yeah. So maybe we can talk more next week.
Next week.
Maybe like next week, if we still have this discussion, or maybe we can discuss it in class.
Oh yes.
Yeah, sure. Okay, let's call it a day.
Bye bye.
Bye, Mark.